Natural gas. It sounds environmentally friendly, like natural, organic, grass-fed, farm-to-table gas. For a long time, it was pitched as a crucial bridge to a cleaner, greener future.
I got a plan, which is to use natural gas as a cleaner, cheaper bridge fuel.
Natural gas is a bridge fuel to reduce our carbon footprint.
I think the natural gas boom is good. It's an important bridge fuel.
Natural gas, if extracted safely, it's the bridge fuel that can power our economy with less of the carbon pollution that causes climate change.
It's true that natural gas burns cleaner than oil or coal, so in theory, it should be better for the climate. Unfortunately, that theory ignores a dirty, filthy little secret: methane. It's the primary component of natural gas and an extremely potent greenhouse gas, with over 80 times the warming power of carbon dioxide over the short term. Most of the world's methane emissions come from human activity, our landfills, rice paddies, and meat consumption. And a huge amount comes from our fossil fuel production, including natural gas. As natural gas is extracted and transported, methane can leak into the atmosphere. That's really important to pay attention to because even if about 3% of it leaks, it becomes worse for the climate than coal. So if we want to determine whether natural gas is a bridge to a cleaner future, or say, the Squid Game bridge, we need to find out how much methane is leaking. Now I know what you're thinking. How much methane is leaking? Fair question, important question. And the answer is, we don't know. In fact, there are currently no laws in the US against most methane leaks, so companies don't have to keep accurate track of it. Fortunately, scientists are keeping track, and a few from Stanford recently flew over tens of thousands of wells in the Permian Basin to get a thorough accounting of methane leaks. Unfortunately, what they found was terrifying.
They were able to generate data showing that more than 9% of the methane produced in the area was actually leaking into the atmosphere.
More than 9%. That's 3 times the amount that would make natural gas worse than coal. You know how you sometimes get paranoid about leaving the gas stove on so you double check before you go to bed? Now imagine one night you forgot to double check and you left on 400,000 gas stoves in the Permian Basin. On a related note, for any obsessive stove checkers, a recent study found that your gas stove might be leaking methane even if it's off, so sleep tight. So look, how did we overlook this problem for so long? Maybe because we literally can't look at it. Unlike oil spills, methane spills are invisible. There are exceptions, like that flaming doom hole that opened up in the Gulf of Mexico, or Turkmenistan's even scarier flaming doom hole. Thankfully, there's technology that allows us to visualize methane leaks without lighting them on fire and potentially summoning a demon. Special infrared cameras can reveal methane chimneys hiding in plain sight. Images like this help raise awareness of methane leaks and apply political pressure to regulate them. And that's starting to have an impact. Policymakers are realizing that cutting methane leaks can give them a quick win on climate. Unlike CO2, methane breaks down in the atmosphere relatively fast, so capping methane leaks could prevent as much as 1/3 of the warming expected in the next few decades. It's why the big 2022 climate bill imposed a new fee on those leaks, and that's on top of the stricter rules from the EPA. But those rules and fees will only be effective if methane leaks are measured and reported accurately, and that's a big if. A Bloomberg investigation found that companies are allowed to, ready, self-report their pollution based on their own interpretation of the EPA's rules. I mean, obviously that feels counterproductive. We wouldn't let restaurants interpret health codes themselves, or they'd be like, oh, no, y'all, that's not a rat, that's Remy. He's the finest chef in all of France. You should try his ratatouille, it's delicious. Reporting loopholes will need to be closed if we want to get serious about regulation. But beyond regulation, there should be a big financial incentive to cut methane leaks. The less of your inventory that leaks away, the more you can sell, right? And I don't know if you've checked gas prices lately, but you can make a lot of money selling this stuff. I wanted to take a closer look at this issue, so I traveled to the Permian Basin in West Texas, where one company, Triple Crown Resources, realized how much methane they were leaking and said, oh, crap. And then they said, oh, crap, we can totally save money on this. Take a look.